Bring me Ray Cokes. I don't know what that means, and I'm not sure I want to know. Alright, well, whatever. It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of BeyBlade Land. And I just realized I never swapped my settings back after my recording session. Okay, that's my fault. Give me a moment. It'll only take me a moment since I've done this so many times I know where this stuff is now. HUD. Hand. There we go. So, I've been a little bit busy. I didn't really do much more. I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself. I just wanted the basic design work for what I was aiming for. So, as I'm going down the road, building these paths to these other branches for, you know, burst, metal fusion, which is going to be this one over here. Actually, yeah, that should be fine. I was getting confused there for a moment. I was like, wait a minute, I'm trying to put these in numerical order, and I was like, OG BeyBlade, Metal Fight, Burst. Okay, never mind, that does work. I was confusing myself. And the last one here. So this will be OG, that one will be Burst, that'll be Metal Fusion. And this one leads to where we are right now. I got a bit done rearranging stuff, I just didn't fully finish. I think I sat here for like 2 hours editing stuff, rearranging it. I mean, that's not terrible, considering I had to move the entire platform area and then redesign all this, but I still need to fix certain spots here and there. I just eventually got bored of doing the same thing repeatedly, and I got off for a little bit. You don't get it. I've been doing builds like these ever since I first started Minecraft. And if there's one thing I have learned, doing the same task over and over and over again quickly bores you to death. It really does. It's super annoying doing the same thing again and again and again and again. So finally, you just like, nope, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Goodbye. I've also changed up my layout a little bit here. I'm going to change it up again further later on, because I got to make a whole new staircase since my last one pretty much got completely destroyed moving all this around. But if I put a boat down, this will cut travel time down immensely. See how fast I went there? You can't even see them now. That's how far we went and how fast we did it. That's some pretty good distance. So because I need a path that I can use, I'm just going to make the one for now. So long as I can keep it contained within this one section, it should be fine, relatively speaking. But once I get the whole structure done for this building, I'm going to go straight to the metal fusion area, because I did say I was going to make Killer Bayfall next, and that is next on my agenda. I have not forgotten. But I need a clear trajectory of what it is I'm doing. I don't just want to build Beyblades left and right and get lost and confused thinking, did I make this bay already? Did I? Did I not? I don't know for certain. And I'd rather be organized here than get lost in the shuffle, because there are just too many Beyblades to keep track of. There really are. Okay, good. That should work out the way I want it to. So if I go in here, I should be able to make it all the way back home without any problems. I like that. That works. And I can just add the black obsidian next time I go back there. But for now, I need to start redesigning all of this, and I need to get this out of my inventory. I'm not using half this stuff right now. Be gone. No. Go away. Don't need you. I'm done with you for the time being. Might use TNT again in the future if the action demands it, but for now, no. Keep the lightning rods. Keep the chest for now. I don't need the grass block anymore, but I'm going to keep it just in case I accidentally misclick. It does happen from time to time. To the best of us. It really does. Keep these. Yes, that works. Now, I don't have a clear idea of what I want to go for inside this building. What I do know is I want to give it a really unique design look. Something that says it feels medieval, but also feels modern at the same time. So you look outside, it's going to look old, kind of historical. But then you go inside, and it's going to look clean. It's going to look nice. So we're going to start with this section here. I'm going to start with building up the frame. I want to get a taste of what it is I want to go for. And the sooner I figure that out, the better. So I'm not going to need actually any of this for the time being. I will need this, because I was using that. Actually, put that there. Okay, so how do I create this feel, this vibe that I want to go for? Well, for starters, I would like a giant center structure here. Something that's open and gives a unique feel to this itself. Now, I could just be a egotistical maniac, put a statue of me in the middle. But let's be honest, I'm not Tony Stark, and I'm certainly not Lex Luthor. So that's not going to happen. And there's our center point. Now we just build that down. Whoops. And that's going to line up on all sides. So that checks out. Considering that it goes 3 blocks either direction, there is only this much space. If I line it up with all these, and that's not really much to work with, so I'm gonna change that later. See, the thing is, I haven't made up my mind here, and I want a really nice looking building, something that says I put a lot of time into this, something that says that it is most treasured and well thought about. I could try mixing bricks together with it. That could create a nice little vibe. If I can get the layers to cooperate correctly. perhaps. Ah, no, but those wouldn't make good pillars now, would they? However, if I try mixing some of this in there... Okay, I could definitely see that working. Fascinating. That's very fascinating. Okay. My initial thought here is I could... Whoops. Like I said, it happens to the best of us. I could build this up like that and then try to arch it over like a small archway. But that looks a little bit too big for an archway. So I'm going to try to cut that down by half. But only once I get to a certain height level. And truth be told, I got no idea how big I want to go for at the moment in terms of height. So I'm just trying stuff out at the moment, seeing how well it looks. But I want enough for a roof to be above me. I want at least 3 blocks of space in here. So let's just go ahead and make this a blueprint. So I want that block right there to be where the ceiling is. That much I do know for certain. But then I want it to branch outward and extend to a big wide section in here that's open and free. So given that, let's just add 5 more blocks of space in here. Still feels a tad too small. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to add another 5. I'm going to delete the last one. This whole video is just going to be nothing but me brainstorming. Trying to come up with ideas, what it is I like, what it is I don't like. Okay, that does feel a little bit better space-wise. And that'll give me the start of my archways as well. So I'm going to move these in here. Two, 3, 4, and then we start moving them over. Now I'm actually going to change this one just slightly. I'm going to create one like that. And then we're just going to do this. It gives it a slightly more ornate and unique feeling. It feels like it was actually carved a bit more, not just randomly built. Come on. There you go. And I can still get in and out of here. So that works out for me. Trying to picture this out in my head the way I want it to look. It's not that easy. I haven't done intricate building like this in a good while. See, if I just use that, it's not going to look that nice. That's the problem here. So I need to start blending in more bricks in here. Needs more arch. And I just messed it up, didn't I? Yes, I did. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. No. That is a little bit better. I mean, it's not perfect. I'm just trying to get the shape at the moment. The shape I want. I feel like it's missing some unique texture in here. Yikes, that made it even worse. I messed up royally. It needs more arch. Which means in turn I gotta raise this even higher. See, but that part's too fat. I don't like that. I might end up raising that roof at this rate. No. I mean, I do like that, but I feel as if it is missing something. Okay, that could actually work out. That one I do like. Yeah, that one I do like. Okay, that looks a lot nicer. It gives it more of a actual ornate feel. It looks a lot more intricate. Now, durability-wise, it's probably absolutely crap. But I like that. And if I just do this... Okay, I'm sold. I like that. That's one I like. I'm going to recreate this later on the other side as well. I just want to get the basics for what I'm going for here. Not to mention I'm going to have to sit here and do slash filling for all this, which nobody's going to want to watch. But now I got a height for what I actually want here. So I can put a roof on top of that. Roof-wise, what I'm thinking... Too basic. I've already used bricks. I want something... something unique. Something that is difficult to do, but looks really nice. I'm thinking very carefully of what I choose here. Screw it, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go with the light blue. Light blue glazed terracotta. Because I do not remember which sides face what. Oh, look at that. Basically got it on the first try. But could I recreate that fully? I wonder. I know this is boring, just give me a moment. Construction work is never a simple task. Measure twice, cut once. That is what they teach you. Each of these forms a square in a group of 2. So if this works, wait, if it's the same way around. Okay, no, that's going to bother me. That's going to bother me later on. Because there's going to be one section that just isn't showing, and that's not going to work. Okay. Really putting my brain to work here, and I'm not enjoying it. I guess I could try giving it an unfinished look with the diorite. That's my first option here. Where's the rest of them? Yeah, there they are. You don't line up, do you? That's what I thought. Okay. Nope, diorite it is. It's not what I intended fully. But that's what I'm going to go for here. I know it's not that liked by a lot of other people, but I figured if I match it up with the white, it'll give off an unfinished marble look. I'm forming a plan inside my head. It is working out inside, but it's going to take me some more time to implement this fully, the way I'm thinking about it. Yeah, okay, that works. And then I could just double up the pillars all around it. So I'll definitely end up doing that later. Just not right now. I'm just trying to get an idea of what it is I want to go for here. That's all I want to do. So ceiling, goodbye. That concept is gone. Now, what do I want to do for the outside? Now that I got a basic idea of what I want to go on the inside, not including staircase, lighting, ceiling work, maybe some intricate stuff here and there. What do I want to do with the outside? That's the big question here. Now, these make good pillars, but there's still the flaw of the fact that I cannot arch with these. So what I could do instead is I could start layering it off piece by piece. And then I could just add windows and here and there. So I'm thinking I add 2 big windows in these frames. So I'm actually going to make markers here. Because I'm almost out of time here for this video. I got 15 minutes left, and I want to get as much done thought-wise as possible. So fill that. Fill that. And we got to bring it to this level. Oops, too far. I'll know what that means when I see it. If I misspell anything, I don't care. I'll just figure it out later. So those will be the slash fill markers. And I'm going to use a window for this one, so it's painfully obvious. Actually, no. Get me a brighter color. Something that stands out. Pink. That'll work. Get that bit more inward. Boop. There we go. Three window side. And then somewhere around 2. Okay, that gives me a pretty good rough idea of what I want to go for here. It's not fully thought out, but that does help me out tremendously. So I got idea for the window laid out. I got an idea for how I want to create this section. And I also got an idea of, that I'm going to put underneath, but I'm going to wait till I get the ceiling done to implement that one. But I will hint at it. That way I don't forget. There we go. Okay, now what should I do for the middle? I could go basic and I could add in a water fountain. Super easy. I've done it numerous times and it would be fun to give it a BeyBlade twist. That would be pretty nice to see, but I think I'll save that for a different floor. Come to think of it, I'll make a little book here. There you are. That's all caps. It's making my eyes hurt. Better. Okay, good. Now, let's try not to lose that. I've lost a lot of books over the years. I was originally going to try to recreate a miniature version of Medieval Earth inside Minecraft, and I lost the book of all the coordinates I had written down. I literally flew to area, found different areas that matched up, and then I lost the book. I don't know how, I don't know where it went, but the book just, poof, it vanished. And after that, I just canceled the project. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to find those coordinates again. There's no way. I had dozens and dozens of them written. I didn't want to do that again. Too much flying. Actually, another idea I'm going to add in here. That's another idea. I'll save that for later. I think I'm going to turn this whole section into a community gathering hub. And I'm also going to simultaneously make it a museum for different types of imagery, basic facts. It's going to be kind of boring. But I think it's a nice touch. Probably just me, though. Now, what type of different Beyblade icons could I do here? There's so many possibilities. Give me a moment. All right, let's take a look here. Oh, I didn't even know they made one of those. Okay, that's kind of nice. Not what I'm looking for, though. Aha, I knew it. They did make trophies for Beyblade. Unfortunately, these are kind of stupid looking. They kind of remind me of Avatar. So, I'm not going to add that. That one just makes me think of Valkyrie, that are... All Might. Okay. At least that one's shaped like a trophy. But I don't see what eagles and a serpent's mouth has to do with Beyblade. Unless it represents the Bey itself, which most likely it does not. Those are typical sports trophies. Those are vases. Those are ceremonial. We don't do those trophies anymore. Okay, what is with these images? Do people really lose imagination when it comes to... Thank you! There's a good trophy. That is a good trophy design. Who made this? It doesn't give me a name. It just says it's on TikTok, and I don't have TikTok, so I can't look it up. Okay, that is a bummer. But now I have something I can work with here. The Spyro Cup. All I have to work with is an image of what appears to be potentially an African-American male. Wears glasses, has a beard. Looks like braided hair, and has a red shirt that says Anime Con on it. I cannot credit this because I cannot find a name here. All I can find is that it's from TikTok. But it's called the Spyro Cup. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Just so I don't lose it. And I would credit this if I would, but since I can't, I'm just going to do the best I can here. I only got 5 minutes. Drat! It's not enough time. I finally know what I want to do, and I don't have the time to do it all. At least for this one. You know what? Stairs I can worry about later. I could just do like a basic lava elevator with soul sand or whatever. But with this I now know what I want to do here, and I want to get this done quickly. Okay, first off, I need the waxed version, so it's not going to oxidize. Then I'm going to need a gold coloring. Now, I would use the solid gold block. Unfortunately, it has the lines on it, so it doesn't flow evenly. That's going to make it look ugly, and that's not what I want. I could argue the same thing about the copper. Screw it. It's a blocky universe. Whatever. Okay, I can worry about the rest later. For right now, I gotta get the base done. Darn shame I can't credit this the way that I want to. Honestly, if you're gonna make a trophy that's specially designed for one category, at least make the trophy designed for that category. Don't rip off other trophies from other sports events just because you lose imagination. Shame. Shame on all the people who made those. But this one I do like. It actually looks like a dragon claw, and it holds the BeyBlade. It holds it right inside of it. That I do like. So I'm just going to get as much of this done as possible in the last 3 minutes, which is probably just going to be the base, and then I'll... You know what? Screw it. We're going over today. I want to get this one added. I like ending my videos around 45 minutes. But today, even though I have the actual moment that I can control it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going over because I want to see this fully built on here before I end this video. Whoever made the Spyro Cup that has what looks like a phoenix wing on it, if anybody ever knows who that is, please let me know so I can accurately credit this, because I do like this design. And this is not my own original idea here. I want to credit where I got it from. Okay, one more layer, and that'll cover the base of the trophy design. Okay, that covers that. Now it builds upward. Growing outward like an actual piece of flesh. However, it stays rounded in here, so I need to adjust this. No, turn back on. Thank you. I want to see what I'm doing. I can't tell fully. Looks like it might have been 3D printed, actually. If so, I'm not surprised. And it looks like it might have been missing a few pieces. That or this image is just at a really bad angle, which most likely is not the case. but it builds up. And then it branches out into 4 different sections. Just like this. And then it builds upward while continuously going out. Come to think of it, this should be a little bit wider at the base now that I'm looking at the image fully. What I was doing was okay, it's just not okay for this current moment. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, so kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah, like that. And then we go one more layer. And then it creates this almost deformity in its design. So it bulks outward a bit. And then it goes almost straight up. There's a little bit of a curve in it. But I'm not going to recreate that here. And something else that's here is there's a bunch of spikes in it. And it looks like there's spikes in here. And it looks like 2 of them are pretty much gone. But I'm going to use end rods because that simplifies a spike a bit. And it also will create a natural lighting in here. It won't be the prettiest in design work, but it will get the point across. Heh, point, spike. I know, it's a bad joke, a bad pun, but still. I don't know why, but my neck is certainly getting itchy for some reason. And I don't know why it's getting itchy. I'm going to be honest. I looked over and I thought there was an Enderman down there. I thought the obsidian was an Enderman for a moment. I panicked a little bit. Okay. And then right here at the top, it's got 4 points where it simplifies that it's the end of its talon, or claw, I guess you could say. And then there's 2 more spikes going down the edge here. One sticks out, and the other one shoots down. Yeah, so kinda like that. I'm just gonna do this all the way around. And there we have it, the Spire Cup. And then a BeyBlade literally sits right on top. So I'm just going to make a mini BeyBlade. I'm just going to put it there. Since I see a phoenix wing here, that's what I'm going to recreate. I'm just going to add a whole bunch of red, yellow, And a touch of white, shockingly. So I need some yellow glass. I already got the white. The white's fine. No, don't split that. I need those, dang it. Thank you. Solid red chunk. A red concrete. And then I'll use a lighter one, if I even have one. Actually, I'm just going to use the red nether brick for top then. Yeah, that works. That's fine. I'm not making this section to be beautiful. I'm just making it to look kind of like a bay. Actually, I'll just take off that. But no, then I can't fudge. This is why I don't like building small-scale things. You know what? It is absolutely atrocious, but I'm just going to work with that. There. Not fully accurate, but that's what I'm going to go with. There's my statue. I now have a statue in here. Joy. Okay. I'll just figure out the rest later. For now, that's a good start. Once I get the walls, the arches, the windows, the outer framework for the windows, the remaining framework for all these done, which I'll probably have done by the next video, maybe, if I have the time. If not, I'll just spend that time in that video, making all this in that video. Then I'll come back around, I'll do some lighting on the inside, and that'll probably be like 2, 3, or 4 more videos later on. And then after that, I'll add in a staircase or an elevator. I'll figure that out when I get there. And then we'll start making a branch to Killer Bayfall. So 2, 3, 4 videos from now, maybe 5. And we'll start moving out that way. I'm just trying to take it easy, one step at a time. I'm not trying to overload myself with work. I've done that in Worlds before, and it's always ended badly. I'd rather focus on one structure at a time, not 1,000 different builds simultaneously. Last thing I want to do is fly around and just say, here is the base of my pizza shop. Here is the base of our Taco Bell. Here is the base that was going to be the Twin Towers, but then people got offended and we decided to take it down. Now we're building a Freddy Fazbear's, and people seem to like the idea of murdering children more than a giant building full of grown adults. Yay for politics and democracy among individuals voting inside of a Minecraft server. Even though it's just me, I am lonely. And over here, that's a stick. He don't do much. We don't talk about the stick. Yeah, last thing I want to do is just ramble about 1,000 different builds simultaneously. I've done that before. It's a nightmare. This is one build. This is organized chaos inside my brain. Anything else would be too much. But this is fine. And I got some ideas for later. But I like this. Picture a small circular design surrounding it with lighting. Maybe a chandelier hanging above it. I think that'd look pretty cool. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to make in there. And now I got an idea. Too bad I can't figure out who made this thing. Yeah, it's not working for me. I tried to get it to bypass the stuff and take me straight there to the video, but it didn't work. It took me to a different video instead. Unfortunately. So I can't figure out who made this. And that really sucks because I deeply want to credit it right now. I really do. Life's not fair sometimes. Alright, well, thank you everybody so much for watching. I know I didn't really do much build-wise, but hopefully in the next video I'll have a lot more done. So by next week, I might have the walls up to the height of that diamond block right down there. And I might have a roof in here. Maybe. I'm not saying it for guaranteed certain because I have to physically go on here and write down each coordinate for filling. And I'm going to have to do quite a bit of filling here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... potentially 12 or 13 different fills just for the walls and the roof alone. And then I gotta punch out holes for windows. And after that, there's the archway work. So yeah, that's gonna be quite a bit of work. And that's gonna leave more work later on, like this space in here that I gotta figure out what to do with. Do I want to continue with the ornate design, or do I not want to? And then I gotta recreate this thing. Let's see, 2. I gotta recreate this one arch for this area 5 more times. And then I gotta try to create it in here. And as you can see, this space is longer, so that's not gonna work fully. And I'm going to be making 6 of those as well, so I got to find a way to stretch that. Or just leave it the way it is, like an actual spacer. Which could still work, but it might not look as nice. But perhaps if I make Actually, that could work. Lounge areas. There and there. That would create the spacing that I need, and it wouldn't look awful. Okay, so I gotta recreate that thing. That exact cut here on both sides 6 times, so that'd be 12 times. Then I gotta add in a lounge in there. Planning a build is not easy. And this leaves only the outside archway work that I have not made up my mind for yet. But everything else now I have a solid plan for, at least for the base design. Not including the second floor. But this is a good start. So I'm going to end this right here before I ramble any further about my future building plans, because I've now been here for an hour and almost 2 minutes. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Menace Snowdecker signing off. And I will see you next time. So bye-bye. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. I hope to see you all back here again soon. My throat's becoming dry. Anyways, don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. So you smile, dagnabbit. Smile. Or I'm going to jump through this screen. I'm going to force you to smile. Hope to see you all back here again soon. And one more thing before you go, could you please check out the links in the description below, give them a follow. And while you're at it, join Discord server. Recommend some games for me to play, or some more Beyblades you want to see me build eventually. We've already built Swordran, and we built Tyranno Beat. So, that's a nice start. Anyways, I'm going to get off. I got things I got to do, take care of. And I'm sure you do as well. So, bye-bye. Bye.